to close, and just take a nice long easy breath and exhale. Big letting go. Good again, long easy in breath and exhale, letting go. And thinking of the last three niyamas on the yogic path, which are tapas, discipline, svadhyaya, self-study, and ishvara pranadhana, or surrender. Just invite that to be incorporated into your yoga practice today. And acknowledging too that we're practicing yoga within a greater community. We have our Sangha here, but also yogis around the world. And just noticing what your general state of being is today. Noticing the effects of the weather, the effects of travel, of movement. The effects of what you've taken into the body in terms of food and drink and medication or supplements. And then noticing what your emotional state is. And then observe where the mind is. Is the mind distracted by issues in life or issues in the world? And as you note your state of being, noting what it is you'd like to receive from your practice today, or how it is you'd like to show up for your practice today. And then with that awareness, taking the sound of the bowl, following it to the end. Good, and then inhaling, lift up through the crown of the head. And then exhaling, tuck the chin to the chest. And then lift the chin back to neutral. Draw the shoulders to the ears and then tilt the chin up. Open and close the jaw and move the mouth side to side. Good, and then release the chin back to neutral. Relax the shoulders down. And then tilt the right ear to your right shoulder. Good, lift the head back up and tilt the left ear to the left shoulder. Good, lift the head back to neutral, keeping the spine nice and long, and now twist your head to the right. So turn your head just so it's over the right shoulder. Lower the chin across to shelf at the chest, and then bring it up over your left shoulder. And then rotate the head back to neutral, and then draw little figure eights with the nose. Reverse direction. Good, and then let that motion come to stillness. Now roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And reverse direction. Good, and let that motion come to stillness. And now reach the arms out in front of you and flick away with the fingers. Flick, flick, flick. Good, and then reverse the action. Pull in, pull in, pull in. And then interlace the fingers. Stretch the arms out in front of you. And then lift the arms up overhead. Lengthen up through the ribs. Slowly bring the hands behind the head, tilting the chin up, elbows wide. Nice big breath. And then slide the hands onto the shoulders and draw little circles with the elbows. Just noticing sensation in the shoulders. We're paying attention to each movement. And then reverse direction. Good, and then release. Lower the right hand down to the earth beside you. Reach the left arm up. Look up. Nice big breath. Stretching up through the left arm. And then switch sides, left arm down, right arm up. Inhale, lift, look up. Nice big breath. Feel the stretch on the right side of the ribs. Just let the stretch be luxurious, not forcing or struggling. Good, and then release the arm down. And now bring the palms behind you, leaning into the support of the back or the arms. Lift the chest up, arch back, and then shift the weight side to side. Good, and then release that motion. And now bring the left hand over to the right knee. Back here. So left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. And as you inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist to your right. And then return back to center. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. Good, and then return back to neutral. Hands to either knee, and draw a circle with the torso. And reverse direction. Good, and let that motion come to stillness. And then stretch the feet out in front of you. And then squeeze the toes together and spread them wide. So squeeze and spread, squeeze and spread, squeeze and spread. Good, and then point the toes, flex the heels, point and flex. And then circle the feet around the ankles. And reverse direction. And then bounce the legs up and down. Good, and then from here, let's bend the knees and place the feet about hips width apart. And then as you inhale, come back, exhale, forward. Inhale back, exhale, forward. So this is working the abdominals, exhale, forward. And if you can come a little farther back, that's in your practice, and do that. You can also come all the way back, stretching the arms up, and then lifting back up. Keeping the feet grounded on the mat. Inhale back and exhale forward. Moving with the breath. Good, and then come on back up to a seated position and place your hands just beneath the shoulders. And now from here, taking a breath, and as you exhale, lift the hips up. Good, inhale back down, and exhale, just lift the hips up. If this is too much on your wrist, you can make fists with your hands, pressing the ring side of the knuckles down and pointing the thumbs forward. But whichever hand position works better for you, exhale up, inhale down. Good, and then release back down. And then slide the feet a little wider than hips width. Bring the palms behind you and slowly roll the knees side to side. So exhale to the side, inhale to center, exhale other side. Slowly move with the breath, not forcing or struggling. Good, and then lower the knees to your left and hold, bringing the left foot in towards the right thigh, and then bring the right hand to the hip, left hand just below the shoulder, and then exhale as you turn to look over the left shoulder. Good, inhale back, exhale into the twist, and inhale back. Good, and exhale into the twist, reaching the right hand outside the left thigh. Inhale, lift, exhale, look back over the shoulder. Good, and then walk the hands around, bringing the left hand outside the left knee in line with the ankle, knee, palms, and fingertips. And then with the right arm, draw big figure eights. Good, and then release the hand behind you, and on the in-breath, swing up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Just move with the breath, up, down. And then lift up and hold, stretch that right leg out, and look up at the raised left hand, or right hand. And then you can stretch that arm over the head, just to lengthen the stretch down the right side of the body. Nice big breath. Good, and then slowly melt back to a seated position and slide the right foot around. And wiggle the knees up and down, shoulders back and forth, and notice the difference between the right and left sides. Noticing if the right side feels a little freer. So same sequence other side. So lower the knees to your right. Left hand on the left hip. Right hand just below the shoulder. Torso nice and tall. And then as you exhale, twist to your right. Good, inhale back. Exhale to the right. Inhale back. Just moving with the breath. Good, and then exhale into the twist, reaching the left hand outside the right thigh. Inhale, lift. Exhale, look back over the right shoulder. Good, and then walk the hands around, bringing the right hand outside the right knee, in line with the ankle, knee, palms, and fingertips. And then with the left arm, draw big figure eights. So take awareness and breath right inside that left shoulder socket. Good, and then release the hand behind you, and as you inhale, swing up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, just moving with the breath. Good, and then lift up and hold, reach that left leg out. Good, nice full stretch up left side of the body. Good, and then slowly transition back to seated position, bringing that left foot around. And then wiggle the knees up and down, shoulders back and forth, and notice if you feel a little bit better balance now between the right and left sides. Good, so let's transition now to table pose. So coming onto the hands and knees, bringing the wrists beneath the shoulders and knees beneath the hips. And start by circling the hips around. And then reverse direction. Good, let that circling come to stillness. And now draw in a breath, and on the exhale, arch the back, chin to chest, tailbone tucked under. And as you inhale, lower the belly down, lift the tailbone up, and lift up through the crown of the head. Good, again, exhale, arch the back, chin to chest. And inhale up. Good, and then return back to starting position with a flat back, head down. Taking a breath, and as you exhale, bring the right ear to your right hip. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left ear to the left hip. Inhale back to center. And just move with the breath. Exhale to the side. Inhale to center. Exhale, other side. Good, and then return back to starting position. And now slide the knees together. And then lift the right knee up as you inhale. Bring the nose to the knee. And as you exhale, lengthen the right leg back. Good, inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, lengthen back. Just moving with the breath. Good, and then extend that right leg back. And then reach the left arm out in front of you, thumb up. Good, and then release the hand down, cross the right leg over the left, and then bring the left ear to your left shoulder. Good, and then return back to starting position with the knees together. Same thing other side. Inhale, left knee to nose. Exhale, swing back. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, swing back. Just moving with the breath. Good, and then extend that left leg back and hold. Reach the right arm out in front of you. Turn the thumb up. Good, then release the hand down, cross the left leg over the right, and then bring the right ear towards your right shoulder. Good, and then back to starting position. And now step the knees wide apart. Shift the hips back to the heels and come into extended child pose. So place the forehead on the mat, extend the arms away from you. Nice long deep breath down the length of the spine. Good, and then lift the hips back up. And then come back to a seated position, and let's take the tennis ball and bring the ball under your right knee. And then squeeze the calf towards the thigh. Lift up through the torso. Good, and then slide the leg out, placing the ball right underneath the knee, and then gently massage the right kneecap. Good, and then release, and notice the difference between the right and left knee. Just rock the leg side to side. Noticing if the right knee feels a little freer. Okay, so same thing other side. Take the ball under your left knee. Just squeeze the calf towards the thigh. Good, and then slide the leg out, placing the ball right underneath the knee, and then gently massage the left kneecap. Good, and then release. All right, let's find our way up to a standing position, just however you want to move through space. And then have the ball handy again. And we'll start our standing poses with a little foot massage. So take the ball under your right foot and then just gently roll it up and down the length of the foot. Good, and then bring the ball under the ball of the foot, and then bring the right heel down, and then gently lean forward. Good, and then release, and then bring the ball under the heel and step directly on the ball. Good, and then release, and once again roll the ball up and down. Good, and then release and step side to side, just feeling the difference between the right and left feet. All right, so same thing other side. Bring the ball under your left foot and then gently roll it up and down. Good, and then bring the ball under the ball of the foot. Bring the heel down and then lean forward. Good, and then bring the ball under the heel and step directly on the ball. Good, and then release, roll the ball up and down. Good, and then release. And now take the ball in the hands and squeeze the ball. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze it in one of the hands, and then circle that hand around the wrist. And reverse direction. Good, and then release. Same thing on the side. So take the ball in the hand and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then circle the hand around the wrist. And reverse direction. Good, release that, and then bring the ball in between the hands and just gently massage the hands with the ball. Good, and then release and move the ball off to the side. Good, just pause and feel the energy in the hands. Good, and now let's step to the back of the mat and bring the hands onto the hips. So stand nice and tall, hands on hips. Taking a breath, and as you exhale, step the right foot forward into a nice long stride here. You want to keep the front knee directly over the front ankle. You want to have the back leg straight and lift the heel, or if you need to have the foot flush to the mat, you can do that. Maybe, if so, bring the feet a little wider apart. So this is a beginner of warrior pose. And then bring the hands either into a goal pose position, out from the shoulders, or reach the arms up overhead. Palms facing one another. Fix your gaze at a drishti, something stationary at floor level or eye level. Warrior 1. And now pivot to Warrior 2 by bringing the back foot flush to the mat. Lower the arms down to shoulder height. Gaze over your forward fingertips. And now turn that hand upward, so palm facing up, and then lift that hand up as you tilt back into reverse warrior. Good, and then bring the arms back up to Warrior 2. And now bend the front elbow, reach that front elbow onto the front knee. And then look back at the back arm, and then slide that arm just along the horizon line so you can bring that arm up over the head, coming into lateral angle pose. And now straighten that front leg, straighten both arms, shifting into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Look up at the raised hand if that works for you. And then slide the torso up, bend that front knee, again back to Warrior 2. So we're doing a vinyasa flow here. swing both arms up, pivot the back foot towards the front, back to warrior one. And then spring down and step forward and release. Nice, long, easy breath. Good. Let's do the same thing on the opposite leg. So, starting from the back of the mat, hands on the hips, taking a breath, and then step your left foot forward. Sorry. Wrong leg there. Okay, so left foot forward, back leg straight, torso perpendicular to the mat, hands on the hips, but then we're going to move the hands up either into goalpost position or arms straight for warrior one. Nice strengthening, balancing, and flexibility for this posture. Being a warrior just means being present without judgment to your posture and to your life. And then bring the back foot flush to the mat as you lower both arms down into warrior two, gazing over your front fingertips. Torso nice and tall. And then turn the front hand up, palm up, and then raise that arm up towards the sky as you tilt back into reverse warrior. Nice big breath here. Good, and then back to warrior two. And now bend that front elbow, reach down, bring that elbow on top of the knee, and then swing the back arm forward, reach it overhead, coming into lateral angle pose. Good, and then straighten the front leg, straighten the arms, look up at the raised hand if that works for your neck, coming into triangle pose. Good, and then lift the arms up, bend that front knee once again, coming into warrior two. Good, reach both arms up, pivot the back foot forward into warrior one, or if the goalpost arm position works better for you, then have the arms down or on the hips. And then spring down and step forward and release the arms down. And then just as you complete that vinyasa flow, just pause and noticing the energy in the body, noticing your strength, noticing your flexibility, noticing your balance. All right, so let's do another balancing pose. We'll do tree pose. So shift the weight over the right leg. Focus your gaze at a drishti, something stationary at floor level or eye level. And then slide that left foot to the inner ankle. And then raise that right leg, or sorry, your left leg. Bring it up, placing it to the inner calf or inner thigh or outer thigh. And then bring the palms together in front of the heart. Reach the arms up. And then bring the arms wide, coming into Vriksasana, tree pose. What kind of a tree are you today? Good, and then release. Place a foot to the earth, and then shift sides. Weight over the left leg. Bring that right foot in. Slide that right foot to the inner calf, thigh or outer thigh. Palms together in front of the heart. And then reach the arms up. Spread the arms wide. Good, and then release. Lower the foot back down, and then shake the arms and shake the legs. Good, so let's melt down now into a position lying on the back. And once you're down here, just lift the right knee up to the chest. Squeeze that knee up. Good, and then place that right foot on top of the left knee. Bring the left hand on top of the bent knee, right arm out to the side at shoulder level, and then slowly guide that knee over to your left as you turn your head to the right. Good, and then release, drawing that knee back up, and then roll the bent knee out to the right. Pause. Good, and then slide that right leg along the mat. And then just notice, wiggle the feet side to side and notice the difference between the right and left leg. Noting if the right leg feels a little longer. And then same thing on the side. Draw the left knee to the chest. Just squeeze that knee up. Good. Bring the left foot on top of the right knee. Right hand on top of the bent knee, left arm out to the side. And then guide that knee to your right as you look to your left. Long, easy breath into the twist. Good, and then draw that knee back up, and then roll the knee to the left. And then slide that leg along the mat and then invite the body to take any stretches or moves that it's calling for to complete your practice before transitioning into Shavasana for relaxation meditation. And then finding your way into position for relaxation, either seated or lying on the back. And just draw in a nice long easy breath, and as you exhale, let it go. The breath be slow and steady. With each exhalation, just surrendering to the support of the earth. From her book, One Soul, Danna Faulds has a poem called Celebrate the Journey. Who knows why life unfolds the way it does? Why we choose one path or another? Share the way for a while or a day, then say goodbye. There is no predictability here, and less control than we might wish. But there is a quiet urging of the heart, the knowing in the soul. the wisdom that's beneath the mind, accessible if we breathe and turn inside. When the tide of change rolls in, we can resist or be at peace, struggle or release. The stuff of life may not be ours to understand. It's enough to offer love, to receive the best and worst, to embrace and say farewell. What matters most is to celebrate each moment of the journey. And from this place of inner attunement, just let your awareness come back to the fingers, back to the toes. And then invite the body to stretch and move as though waking up for the first time today. Just letting go of any sighs or sounds. And then without disturbing your relaxation, just finally transition back up to a seated position. And once again, sitting nice and tall, just taking a deep breath and exhale, letting go. And then acknowledging yourself for taking this time to nurture yourself in body, mind, and spirit. And in gratitude for our time together. Let's share in the ancient sound of peace and harmony, the sound of Om by inhaling. Om. Peace. Peace home. Namaste. Thank you for joining today.